My husband believed that I married him for his wealth, so when he received the news that I was in a car accident and on the verge of death, he said to wait until I died and then let him know. At that moment, my heart died completely, and I decided I would no longer love him. So when I was born back the day my husband asked me for a divorce, I didn't beg him to stay like I did before. Instead, without hesitation, I signed the divorce papers and didn't take a single penny from him. But when he found out that I had ordered all the flowers I planted to be destroyed, he turned and gave an order without a second thought. Tell them to stop, put everything back the way it was. Understood, sir. Clara, the servant, was confused about what Julian was thinking. Everyone knew he didn't like me. She couldn't understand why. If we were about to divorce, Julian would still want the flowers I had planted to remain. Julian pushed open the master bedroom door, only to find complete silence inside. No matter how late he came home in the past, I would always be sitting there waiting for him. But tonight, when the door opened, all he was met with was an unfamiliar silence. An inexplicable irritation crept up in his heart. His gaze fell on the bookshelf. Half the books were gone. His brows furrowed even deeper. He quickly walked to the wardrobe, opened the door, and realized none of the clothes inside belonged to me. Julian clenched his jaw tighter. He couldn't believe that I had really agreed to the divorce and had actually moved out. He thought to himself, is this some sort of reverse psychology? Does she think she can fool me? But no matter how much he believed I wouldn't leave so easily, the restless anxiety gnawing at his heart wouldn't go away. After leaving the home where I had lived with Julian for a year, I went straight to my apartment in the city center. I dropped my luggage, pulled out my phone, and dialed a number. I need you to investigate something for me. Once you have the details, organize the evidence and send it over. I clearly listed what I needed him to look into. After hanging up, a cold determination flashed in my eyes. The next morning, I packed the necessary documents and drove straight to the courthouse. I stood at the entrance, waiting. An hour passed, but there was still no sign of Julian. Slowly, my patience wore thin. I pulled out my phone and called him. No answer. I tried calling Alan, but his phone was off as well. I glanced at the time. The courthouse would be closing in an hour. I had had enough. I climbed back into my car and drove straight to the headquarters of Galloway Group. In the company parking lot, as I walked toward the entrance, I bumped into a woman. I recognized her immediately. It was Julian's secretary, Tiana West. Mrs. Galloway, back again, I see. Tiana slightly lifted her chin. Her gaze carried a hint of disdain. I smiled and locked eyes with her. Tiana's eyes briefly flicked to my empty hands, a flicker of contempt crossing her face. No homemade lunch for Mr. Galloway today? She sneered. Did you finally realize he threw away everything you made for him? In the past, I would have swallowed my pride for Julian and avoided dealing with self-important little secretaries. But now, I had no reason to hold back. I pulled a cold smile and reached out, gripping her chin. Did I give you permission to speak out of turn? Tiana gasped. Let go, she stammered, her previously proud demeanor falling apart. My temper's not great. You see, if you keep squirming, I might just dislocate your jaw, I coldly threatened. Tiana immediately fell silent, not daring to say another word. I gave a mocking laugh. No wonder Julian never comes home. Turns out, he's been keeping a cheap little plaything in the office. Tiana didn't even get to finish her sentence before something, or rather, someone, caught her attention, standing right behind me. Her expression shifted instantly. A glint of calculation flashed in her eyes but was quickly replaced by a look of feigned innocence. Tiana put on a naive tone and pleaded, Mrs. Galloway, you misunderstood. There's nothing between Mr. Galloway and me. I'm just his secretary, and attending events with him is strictly professional. I swear, you've misunderstood. I suddenly let out a light laugh, releasing my grip on Tiana's chin, speaking casually, don't worry, I was just joking. Then, I casually pulled a disinfectant wipe out of my bag and wiped my fingers as if I had just touched something filthy. Tiana watched the whole scene, barely able to suppress her rage. But the person standing behind me forced her to suppress her anger. I sneered, instead of overestimating your importance and meddling in things that aren't your business, maybe you should go home, look in the mirror, and get to know yourself better. We're not even on the same level, darling. With that, I turned and started to walk away, but just a few steps later, Tiana suddenly exaggeratedly gasped, calling out, Mr. Galloway. She pretended to be shocked, as if she had only just noticed Julian standing there. Without hesitation, she started to put on a performance, her voice trembling. It seems Mrs. Galloway has misunderstood my relationship with Mr. Galloway. She had imagined a perfect conclusion to her act, but Julian completely ignored her words. His gaze swept over Tiana and stopped on my face.